All right, everybody. What is this? We're back.
This is show and tell with the OGs. Me, Miss LadyAda, here, Mr. LadyAda on camera control. We're not smiling, but we're here to see people show off all their coolest hacks, gadgets, code, games, camera hacks, and more. Let's check in with some Adafruit folks and then other people from the community.
That's right. Every single week, 7:30 p.m. You know, if you're ever wondering what I'm doing right before 7:30, it's probably trying to get all this stuff done. So if you're a time traveler, you know where to get me, or maybe not. So we're going to do a very special preview of the game we're going to launch. People are going to be able to play it on the web. Trevor will talk about how he built it maybe just a little bit. We'll show some of our work. We'll have levels for people to play. But we're at a good stopping spot, so we want to invite the community to come on in and find bugs, find something that maybe we messed up on. Maybe we spelled something wrong. Maybe there's something.
Maybe the capacitors are backwards.
Who knows? Trev, you've been working on this. What is going on this week?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hello.
Hello. Hey. So I've been working on the Great Search game. Let me display it for you guys.
And then maybe at the end, if everyone's good, you could tell them where they can play this game themselves in their very own web browser.
That's right.
I'm just doing filler time right now.
Yeah, it should be up.
Avoiding dead air. Oh yeah.
Yeah. There it is. Boom.
All right.
Sweet. All right. So it's a pretty. Oh. Okay. That never happens.
Only when we go live. You know, it's funny. We tested this out before we went live, and I'm like, hey, let's just make sure. I know we don't need to.
Yeah.
Donk.
That's hilarious. All right, let's try it one more time.
You have those little videos. Well, what we'll do is we'll circle back if we need to.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. It works. Okay.
Yeah, and this is not the frame rate, everyone. We're showing a thing through a thing through a thing. Yeah.
That's right. So it's a pretty simple game. Basically, you control LadyAda, and you're collecting components and different NeoPixel coins here. Right in this stage, you are like getting to the Adafruit factory. So you kind of in a pseudo subway, and you just need to get there. There's a little picture of Ada. He's an employee of the month again, and yeah. It's going to keep going. Yeah, you're going to try to avoid these traps. We're just going to keep.
Yeah. So we're going to have a level builder.
You're good at this game.
Well, I hope so. Someone has to be. Imagine if he wasn't. It was just could build any video game, but just I can't play them. So one of the things that we want to do is just hear from everyone. We want to teach some electronics. But keep in mind, the competition that we have for attention spans for children and for young adults, or really for anyone, it's never been more intense. So we're up against, multi-billion-dollar budgets with Disney and stuff like that. So we have to come up with things that are fun, but also there's some educational elements to it as well. And what's neat about levels is you can build them. So if someone says, well, you should really cut your teeth and build assembly, and why are you doing Python? And you should, sorry, I was thinking of the wrong snark. But you could help out with it too and teach different things. We have video games that we've made where you're learning resistor code calculation. We have that on our website for the blog post where you have to do the right resistor calculator calculations to post a comment. And you don't have to, but it's just one of the things that helps. And people said years later, this really helped me learn how resistors work. So we have some surprises. Trevor, how are you making this game? Tell us a little bit about the way it's made, how it's made.
Oh yeah, so basically for the assets, I've utilized AI to create some of these assets, like these pins right here. Basically I showed them, I fed ChatGPT some images from the Adafruit store, and I'll say something like create some 16
I see a little feather. I could see the stemma connector on the little board over to the right. Yeah. So by the way, folks, we will source and credit when we used AI. So for pixel art, it's really tedious. And our designer said, like, I will lose my arm if I have to like do every pixel like for a game. And he was a little worried. I'm like, oh, don't worry. There's tools that kind of help you out with this. And so we use our own art, our own photography to generate these things. But I understand, some people will not like that. And the other challenge we have is there is a lot of things that we could choose to have as the enemy. There's a lot of things you could choose to be the heroes. So we have to be careful with that. So there's like a philosophical approach because we want to bring everyone in and have them learn the video game. So what do you do? So we have Sparky the Blue Smoke Monster, which you want to avoid, but Sparky is also helpful because it lets the blue smoke out when there's something. So it's more than just a video game. It's telling a story that makes people want to learn among all the other things we have to compete with. Like, what's the video game that everyone, I know there's Fortnite, but there's another video game like right now that everyone's really into, like really, really into. I don't know. Oh, neat.
I'm sorry.
What's
I'm sorry.
what's
I've been playing too much. I didn't hear you guys.
No,
I'm not very good at. I'm not good. I don't.
That's fine. Games. I was just talking about other stuff. This is great. So what? So how is this published on the web? So what did you do to get it on the web, and what do people do to start playing this?
Right. So you can go to our Discord, which is, I think it's.
I don't know. I have it memorized. It's adafruit.it/discord or discord.gg/adafruit.
I'm sorry. I have to like cut this. I can't really hear anything.
You don't need to hear. Oof. You don't have to hear anything.
Okay, so you go to our Discord and then what?
Go to our Discord and then what do they do?
Right, you go to the Great Search the Game channel and you'll see the link to the game. It's in I think it's hosted by itch.io.
Help with topics. Is it
probably at the bottom?
Great Search the Game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow, Trevor knows.
That's me.
Okay.
Yay! Oh look, there's the URL and the password. It's and then we have some issues that you can open up on GitHub. Mm-hmm. Well, this is great.
Yay!
Everybody, maybe you can go into our Discord and drop it into the live chat and other places, and then let's see how this goes, and we'll see what people want to do.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you so much, Trev. Come by tonight and more.
Thank you.
All righty. Next up is Noe. What you got going on?
Hello. Yeah, this week wanted to make a video for our V4 of our motorized camera slider. So we took this out to the park a week ago and we put it to its paces. So it's got two motors. It's using the TMC 2209 silent smooth stepper motors. And it's a collab project, of course, with Liz. She did all the CircuitPython code. She designed a custom PCB. It's a little carrier board for the KB2040 as the microcontroller, the two stepper drivers, a 1.3-inch TFT display, and rotary encoder. She came up with the way to set up the positions of the panning. She uses the rotary encoder and really nice like icons and little GUI to set up different positions for sliding from the left and from the right. There's a lot of work and it was a lot of fun to put it together, and we get some really nice, smooth shots now. Here's a
we're now done with sliders for at least a year.
For at least a year.
Yes, next year for the next slider.
Well, what's neat is like I was watching because it's now I don't know if everyone knows, but it's a law. I was watching some TikToks. And one of the things that people really like is to see how the TikTok influencers and the TikTok very popular accounts get all of their views and how they do things behind the scenes. And it was neat to see how everyone has their own rig or combination of things they put together so they can make their art, which I know there's debate whether any of these things are art, but I'm going to say if you're debating about it, probably is art. But it's neat because like you're doing a mechanical project, a software project, and then there's this last piece, which is this artistic one. So you have to go somewhere. You can't just like why would you do these shots at home? So then you have to find cool stuff to shoot.
Go to the park.
So it's also something that like one of the reasons I like this project is everyone can do something, even to like little kids to adults. They have a part like, oh, go do a location scout.
Find some plants.
Yeah, go be a location scout and find something. So this is great. All right, so if I wanted to build one of these, or if I knew someone who wanted to build one of these, what would I tell them?
Go to the Adafruit Learning System. it's up there now under the new section, and check it out. Yeah, all the parts, the assembly, the code, the CAD files, it's all up there. It's all open source. There's a step file, of course, so if folks want to use FreeCAD or something to change up the design, they're totally free to do so.
Yeah. We had a question on Ask an Engineer, and I was gonna just remove it because sometimes when people are like, I know what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So their question was like, is it really open source if the file is a proprietary format? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
The file format doesn't matter. You just have to be able to open it in the file format it was created.
Yep.
Don't get hung up on this, folks. You're missing the point, and all of us are tired of it. So we're probably just not gonna talk to you. But just like, don't get hung up on the file format. It's not important. What's important is you're making something and sharing. And if you want that file, it's possible to get it and import and export it in a variety of different ways. But don't come down on someone because they use a different tool. It's like, we're like 20 years into this.
We already decided this. Yeah, this is 20 years ago.
It's like, watch the reruns.
Catch up.
On this episode. Well, thank you for sharing this, and I can't wait to see what people do.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. All right.
Alrighty.
Thanks, Noe.
Next up, Brandon. How you doing?
Hey, good. Hopefully you guys can hear me.
Yeah. You always have great presentations.
Well,
Emojis.
I don't know if it's great, but it's kind of fun.
It's good enough for us.
There we go. So a couple of weeks ago, a year ago we chatted, and I was doing the CircuitPython based badge for a conference, and I'm doing the conference again this year, and the badge is completely different, but I'm doing workshops again. And one of the things that I need when I workshop is I like interacting with the students, the youth that are there. And so I wanted a presentation remote, and I went online and I shopped around. And I went, I want one Bluetooth. I'll make one. Of course, that's what I always do, right?
Right.
So this is a Circuit Playground Blue Fruit. And I made a couple of mods to it. So I put a smaller JST connector on it so I could put a tiny little battery in the back. So there's about an 800 milliamp battery sitting back in here. And then I wrote everything in CircuitPython because why not? Then I can do anything I want. Right now it just does up and down buttons. So there's an up and down button. Right now this thing is asleep. And so let me wake it up. So we wake it up.
Beep, beep.
And just like CircuitPython, it basically reboots, and that little red light tells me that Bluetooth is now connected to my computer. And one button is up and one button is down. And then if I press both buttons again, it'll blink and it'll go back to sleep. And thanks to the design of the Blue Fruit, this thing, even when it's in wake mode, so once it's booted up and when it's sitting right now ready to go, it uses 2 milliamps. That's all it's using.
That's the Nordic magic.
Yeah, I love this chip. It's my new favorite chip. But anyway,
Yeah.
Yay.
We had a lot of videos on that and how to do
Yeah.
the power monitoring and all
Yeah.
that.
and so I 3D printed this, and I decided I wanted to be able to show off the Circuit Playground, so I put an acrylic face on it. But the rest of this is all 3D printed. The only other mod I made was I didn't realize until after I got the whole thing built that while it will run off of a LiPo, it doesn't charge the LiPo.
Yeah.
So I managed to find, if you look at a Circuit Playground, there's a little right over here on the board. There is a icon of an ear, and that's because right above that's the microphone. So the little icon of an ear. There was just enough space there for me to put down, what is it, the MSC 7383 or whatever that LiPo charging chip is. So I added LiPo charging to this. But I just love the fact that with CircuitPython, I can do up down today, and then as soon as I come back from the conference, it might be a mute button for doing Discord channel conversations or anything else I want. But yeah, the NRF52 chip is so power efficient that even if I don't use the sleep mode on this thing, it lasts like a week and a half. And so I just had a lot of fun with this project. And I've done some power monitoring, and I'm starting to get into using Adafruit IO to do performance testing of my battery operations. And so I've chatted with you, and I'll probably show in another time. I now have both the Nordic Power Profiler programmable through Python, but also I have I think it's pronounced O1 multimeter, and I have that one now accessible through Python. So now through Python, I can run a script that runs for days, and it checks the voltage of the battery, and it runs through some tests, and it keeps the thing running, and it simulates the button actions, and then I can graph on a dashboard using Adafruit IO how the batteries are doing. So, like instead of sitting there and playing with it, I can literally just run this thing for days and days and days. And then I just look at my dashboard on Adafruit IO, and I've got a graph of how long the batteries lasted and how the voltage has changed over time.
That's great. That's great for just seeing long-term power usage.
Yep. And I'm doing a lot of that now with various chips, and the Nordic, the NRF is my first chip that I'm really pushing to see how far I can get it to go.
Right.
I feel like I feel like the new future is when you make electronics, you look at the bill of materials and tariffs and countries and all that, and then everything's a battery and a screen at some point, right? Everything is battery and screen at some point, and then it's like power. And I actually think that, let's imagine, we solve all these geographic differences, and we're Star Trek and in a federation, and there's no boundaries. Then we have to solve like physics problems, and like how do you how low can it go? How can you monitor it? How do you log it? How do you share when you're working on a project like this, probably remotely with different people? And that's why we made Adafruit IO, because you could do logging, and both of you could see what's going on. You can leave it and watch it from afar. So this is a really good example. If you do a Adafruit IO project, and maybe we can convince you to do this on playgrounds or learn, because this would be a neat one to show people all that goes into low power.
Yeah, I do a lot with low power. Matter of fact, this year the badge, I'm not going to get into what the badge does. That's a secret until August. But my goal is to be able to run weeks off of CR 2032.
Yeah, and like, well, who does this? Like, the art of this. You can't even like ask ChatGPT, because like no one's ever public. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you're doing that would be great for people to see. So I will try to convince you by giving you free hardware or something. I don't know.
That's all right. I did 3D print a jig for probing a PCB, and then I hooked that up to the power profiler and my multimeter, and then I've got a Raspberry Pi controlling the whole thing as far as the test scenario is concerned. And so, like you said, the great thing about Adafruit IO is, like I said, my whole team can be looking at this thing on a regular basis, and I just leave it run.
Yeah, we don't do any like. You have to have different licensing, even when you have pro accounts. We're trying to make this the like easiest friction-free, so you could rapidly prototype exactly the stuff that you're doing. Yeah. So you can do other stuff. Like if people really need a big solution for us, you go to use Particle or something. But for like 99% of the time, this is
99% of the time, it's something easy. I just need to let the team know what's going on, and they can look at it, and they can make comments about it, and they can say, "Oh, look, I see that it's dropped after about 4 days," and it's like, and so lower power has been my big push this year. I've been having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I think that's the next frontier. Like you always hear in startup circles, like after AI, we have to do fusion because we need to get powerful. and then you have to do low power. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming by, and as always, thanks for showing off good projects. This is really neat.
Okay.
Well, thanks.
Thank you, Bradán.
All right, everybody, that's our show. I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes wrapping up stuff on our side so we can do Ask an Engineer. We'll see everybody next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're here every week. I have some fun stuff I'm going to start showing because we're unpacking because we moved. Not Adafruit Factory, like us human move. I had to prove I was a human for this digital certificate thing, and I had to hold up my ID and then put my hand in front and back. So I'm definitely human, according to like the certificate authorities who give you those certificates so you can buy stuff online. Anyways, so come on by. We're humans, and you'll have a good time. And we're going to show some more stuff that we're unpacking from the archives of Adafruit. So maybe we can show that next week. We'll see everybody
10 minutes.
In 10 minutes. Bye.
Bye, everybody.